students, welcome to the lecture on building exterior and interior facilities, and after this lecture we will be able to learn the following objectives: understand the building services and grounds, explain definition of interior design, define the concept of window design, discuss the types of house wall construction, understand storm water drainage system, explain space and landscape, understand on-street parking in residential areas. Let's start with the concept of building exterior and interior facilities. Many new home buyers make the mistake of confusing exterior design with interior decoration and landscape, but these two disciplines are worlds apart. While it is true that design did naturally evolve from decoration, the technical know-how and skill set required for a designer are far more complex and complicated when compared to simple decoration. For instance, a designer must not only have an impeccable sense of style like a decorator, but he must also have an intimate understanding of architecture as well. For these reasons, interior designers receive highly competitive salaries that start at around 25,000 rupees with an average salary of about 35,000 rupees. As we might expect, designers rely on experience and reputation, and they are often only as good as their last project. Facilities are allocated funding only for the maintenance and repair of building infrastructure, grounds and support system. Other facilities, services and maintenance and repair of department-owned equipment are charged to the requesting department. Facilities are not allocated funds for auxiliary buildings and support system. Any services provided by facilities will be billable to the owners of the building or space. Let us now discuss the building services and grounds. Ground services is the maintenance of building and grounds within a facilities operation department. The Buildings and Grounds Department is responsible for the planning, operating, maintenance, renovation and new construction of buildings, roads, grounds and utilities. Building services. This group provides services such as routine maintenance of ceilings, floors, doors, interior or exterior walls, sidewalks and windows. It is also responsible for maintaining parking lot and road markings and the coordination of the commencement assembly. Key control. The key control office provides lock repair, lock changes, lockout services, file cabinet desk office and issuing of keys to authorized person. Sign shop. The sign shop is responsible for all signage on buildings. This includes exterior lighted building signs, street parking and all interior signage. Moving and hauling. Moving and hauling manages the transport and a wide variety of special items. Moving and hauling is primarily involved in coordinating this work among builders and associated rental properties. Electrical. The electrical shop provides repair and maintenance services for motors, emergency generators, electrical distribution systems and lighting system. Grounds. The beautification and pruning division is responsible for planting new trees and shrubs, renovating old landscaping sites, mowing and trimming, applying fertilizer and pesticide, pruning the collection of trees and shrubs, and selling and maintaining perennial and annual flower beds. Recycling and solid waste. The recycling coordinates the educational and operational aspect of recycling, solid waste, collection and litter control. Additionally, it supervises yard waste, mulching and composting operation, post-closure care of the sanitary landfill and various environmental restoration initiatives. Heavy or highway equipment. Road maintenance is responsible for the maintenance of and repairs of all street roadways, parking lots and loading docks, including State Road Incorporated Department of Transportation and Services. In addition, road maintenance provides heavy equipment assistance for a broad range of in-house and contracted landscaping, utilities and renovation work. Let us now study the definition of interior design. Interior design is a multifaceted profession in which creative and technical solutions are applied within a structure to achieve a built interior environment. These solutions are functional, enhance the quality of life and culture of the occupants, and are aesthetically attractive. Designs are created in responsive to and coordinated with the building shell and acknowledge the physical location and social context of the project. Designs must adhere to code and regulatory requirements and encourage the principles of environmental sustainability. These services may include any or all of the following tasks: research and analysis of the client's goal and requirements, and development of documents, drawings and diagrams that outline those needs, formulation of preliminary space plans and 2- and 3-dimensional design concept studies and sketches that integrate the client's program needs and are based on knowledge of the principles of interior design and theories of human behavior. Confirmation that preliminary space plans and design concepts are safe, functional, aesthetically appropriate and meet all public health, safety and welfare requirements including code, accessibility, environmental and sustainability guidelines. Selection of colors, materials and finishes to appropriate convey the design concept and to meet socio-psychological functional, maintenance, life cycle performance, environmental and safety requirements, selection and specification of furniture, fixtures, equipments and millwork including layout, drawings and detailed product description and provision of contract documentation to facilitate pricing, procurement and installation of furniture. Provision of project management services including preparation of project budgets and schedules. Preparation of construction documents consisting of plans, elevation, details and specification to illustrate non-structural and or non-seismic partition layouts, power and communication, location, reflected ceiling plans and lighting design, materials and finishes and furniture layouts. Preparation of construction documents to adhere to regional building and fire codes, municipal codes and any other jurisdictional statutes, regulations and guidelines applicable to the interior space. Coordination and collaboration with other allied design professionals who may be retained to provide consulting services including but not limited to architects, structural, mechanical and electrical engineers and various specialty consultants. Confirmation that construction documents for non-structural and or non-seismic construction are signed and sealed by the responsible interior designer as applicable to jurisdictional requirements for filing with code enforcement officials. Administration of contract documents, bids and negotiations as the client's agent. Observation and reporting on the implementation of projects while in progress and upon completion as a representative of and on behalf of the clients and conducting post-occupancy evaluations reports. The education and testing of interior design is directed toward the scope of practice in interior design. Interior design knowledge of elements of engineering and architecture is not intended to permit practice of those professions, but rather to provide the interior designer with the ability to recognize when it is necessary to engage other appropriate experts in a project. A window is a vented barrier secured in a wall opening. The function of the window is to admit light and air into the building and to give a view of the outside. A window consists of two parts: window frame secured to the wall opening with the help of holdfast and window shutter held in position by the window frame. Following are the types of windows: gallery, fixed windows. These windows are provided for the sole purpose of admitting light and providing vision in the room. The window consists of a window frame to which shutters are fixed. The shutters are fully glazed. Pivoted windows. In these windows, the shutters are allowed to swing round the pivots which are fixed to the window frame. The window frame has no rebates. The shutter can swing or rotate either horizontally or vertically. Skylights. It is provided on the sloping roof to admit light. The window projects above the top sloping surface. They run parallel to the sloping surface. Ventilators. It has a frame and a shutter, generally glazed, which is horizontally pivoted. The shutter can be opened or closed by means of two cords, one attached to the top rail and other to the bottom. Now moving on to the next topic, we will study the types of house wall construction. Building wall takes precision and craftsmanship. Interior wall construction is very different from exterior wall construction. Materials for exterior walls have to support the house weight and provide a strong structure for the house or home to endure extreme weather when necessary. Interior walls have to be tough enough to endure the everyday bumps, bruises and wear and tear imposed by the people and pets living in the house. Non-load bearing walls. Non-load bearing walls are found in the interior of a house. They are non-load bearing in that they do not have to support the weight of the house and primarily serve as partition. For example, a wall that separates two bedrooms that are next to each other would be a non-loading bearing wall. Non-loading bearing walls are not aligned above support beams as are load bearing walls, but they often run perpendicular to joists for floors and ceilings. Exterior walls. Exterior walls shape and define the envelope of a home or building. The walls can be made of structural insulating sheathing panels, rendered strain board or plywood attached to the exterior studs and then covered with a polymer house wrap material or an asphalt treated building paper. Exterior walls have a cavity opening which includes insulation materials to protect the home from weather penetration. After the house wrap or building paper is attached, the surface is clad with the material visible from outdoors such as brick, wood, siding or stucco. System build walls. System build walls are constructed off-site at manufacturing facilities. System build walls are delivered by flatbed trucks to building sites and then installed. Homeowners and builders have many of the same choices of customized design and use of materials as when building a house on location. Because system build walls are transported, they have to pass inspections that are even tougher than those for walls built on site. As a result, prefabricated system built walls are sometimes sturdier and more durable than traditional walls built from the ground up. Let us now know the meaning of storm water drainage system. In any city, private and public drainage systems work together to channel and move sanitary and storm water safely away from homes and streets. The private system is the responsibility of residential and commercial property owners. The public system is owned and operated by the municipality.
The storm filter is a simple yet ingenious design that puts the forces of nature to work. A concrete vault collects the polluted water, and before it leaves, it passes through these filter cartridges. The key to the system's efficiency is in the cartridge. Inside is granulated media, natural and synthetic products that remove the pollutants. During a storm, the float system in the center of the filter cartridge helps prime a siphon that draws the polluted stormwater through the filtration media and into a center drainage tube. The siphon mechanism is activated as the vault fills with water, and the trapped air is purged from under the filter cartridge hood through the air relief valve. When the water in the cartridge reaches the top of the float, buoyant forces pull the float free and allow the filtered water to drain out into the underdrain manifold for discharge. At this point, the air relief valve closes to create the siphon effect. The siphon increases the flow potential and distribution of pollutants across the filter media, increasing the effectiveness and useful life of the filter cartridge. The siphon effect continues until the stormwater in the vault begins to subside. A hanging water column will remain under the filter cartridge hood until the water level in the vault reaches a series of scrubbing regulators on the bottom of the hood. As the water in the vault continues to drop, air bubbles rush through the regulators into the cartridge as the water under the hood is released. The bubbles agitate the surface of the filter media, causing much of the accumulated sediment to drop to the vault floor. This patented self-cleaning mechanism also increases the effective life of the filter.
Home drainage system. The sanitary line deals with all water disposed of inside the home. Water from showers, toilets, sinks, dishwashers, clothes washers and floor drains is channeled to a line on the basement floor. This line is connected to a larger sanitary sewer pipe located under the street. The storm water service manages roof and surface water that comes from rainfall, snow melt or garden hose. Slope lawns and driveways direct water from the roof and the ground to the street, where catch basins are located. Water that seeps through the ground is collected by a foundation drain located at the bottom of the home's foundation. The foundation drain may enter the sump pit where it drains by gravity to the storm sewer line or may be pumped to the surface by a sump pump. Note that because of the improved drainage system, new houses do not have or need sump pits. The open space within the developed cluster is generally a vehicular and service-oriented setting consisting mostly of roadways, utility or service yards, parking and areas for pedestrian access. Landscape planting in this area, such as shade trees and scrubs, are designed and maintained to mitigate the impacts of this more pragmatic setting consisting mostly of hard surfaces. Open spaces specifically designed and maintained for pedestrian use provide a valuable amenity within several of the developed cluster. It provides a practical approach to landscape architecture. Information presented is intended to make the staffs aware of important landscape consideration and to aid them in project development. It should be used by engineers, designer and architectural and engineering firms in the development of a sound and affordable long-term landscape program. It is intended to help all participants better understand landscape standards for effective participation in the project development process. Landscape design process. Commanders should address the overall appearance of the installation by taking a comprehensive approach to enhance existing assets and employ sound site planning and design principle. Existing installation assets may include large reserves of natural open space, impressive landscape features, and historic and contemporary buildings of distinctive character. A consistent, quality landscape plan should meet the needs of the base for years to come. Design process. The general concepts are land use planning based on mission requirements, ecology, physical development, and visual character of the installation. Future growth flexibility, plan for expansion to meet future needs of the installation. Vehicular circulation system, serves the base but does not dominate the setting. Low maintenance requirements, design and selection of elements for durability and life cycle cost benefits. Landscape elements. The coordination and effective use of landscape elements contribute to the overall success of the design. Landscape elements consist of the following: vegetation, landforms, water features, pavement materials, site amenities, lighting, and signs. The demand for parking, especially from residents living in properties where there was little demand for parking facilities when the housing accommodation was originally built, has begun to create problems on street in some areas. This problem is further exacerbated when a property is converted for multi-occupancy without any requisite increase in parking provision for those likely to require a parking space. The number of single occupancy household and multi-car owning household continues to increase the demand for on-street parking spaces in these areas. Changes in lifestyle result in more cars being purchased, of which an increasing number are perceived to be larger than the standard family saloon car of a few years ago. Front gardens are adapted for the accommodation of parked vehicles, thereby reducing the length of curbside available for parking. The parking of vehicles connected to a resident's employment also generates complaints when residents feel their view is restricted by vans, etc., parked outside their residences. In some narrow streets, it is not unusual to see vehicles parked partly on the pavement. This then restricts the safe passage of pedestrians walking along narrow pavement, especially those with sight disabilities or in charge of young children. It can also damage the surface of the footway and the surfaces underneath. There are often no secure parking spaces on street for powered two-wheelers (PTWs) where properties do not have parking for them on their curtilage. The PTWs could help deal with the problem of on-street parking, as up to 7 PTWs could be parked in a curbside space occupied by one car. However, PTW riders prefer to be able to see the machine from their residence. Grouping is therefore not a preferred option. The PTWs are often tethered to street furniture, potentially obstructing the footway. Parking lot parks. Parking lots present global planners and designers an enormous opportunity to enhance the character and vibrancy of areas. Parking lots are nearly always designed for a single purpose, automobile storage. Thus, the focus of parking lot designer is on functionality, specifically how to the greatest number of vehicles into the smallest space at the lowest cost. To the extent that ecological, aesthetic, and social consideration hamper the accomplishment of these narrow objectives, they tend not to be emphasized in parking lot design. In most cases, parking lots are large, open expanses of asphalt with minimum or non-existent landscaping. With such a high proportion of impervious surface, parking lots cause significant harm to ecosystem by contributing to heat island effects, storm water pollution, and runoff and air and light pollution. Why are parking lots bad for the environment? There are many environmental unfriendly aspects to the modern world, including gas, guzzling cars, pollution, spoofing, industry, and apathetic consumer. Looking beyond the usual suspect, many people would be surprised to find out that something as mundane as a parking lot could also be bad for the environment. Most people know that the cars they drive and park on them can be detrimental to the environment, but few know that the need of some people to sprawl out and pave paradise may be contributing to the problem as well. Parking lots can be bad for the environment for many reasons. Increasing need for more parking spaces may indicate that more cars are on the road, which means that more gas is being consumed and more pollutants released into the air. More pavement means less green space, thereby reducing the number of trees and plants that serve as natural air cleaners by absorbing carbon dioxide in the air and releasing oxygen. It also means less open soil that can collect rainwater, which helps to replenish natural aquifers. Areas that have less of a natural groundwater supply suffer even more from an overabundance of paved areas. Cars are dirty pieces of machinery and leak all sorts of toxic liquids. Oil, grease, coolant, and other fluids can collect on the asphalt and sit until rain washes it into storm drains, which may drain to lakes and streams. The runoff is often highly polluted. Now, in the end, let us summarize what we have learned in this lecture. The two most popular kinds of interior design are residential and commercial. Facilities management provides routine maintenance and operation to state-supported facilities in order to keep facilities, grounds and infrastructure in good repair, safe and reliable operating condition and maintain an acceptable level of appearance. The recycling coordinates the educational and operational aspect of recycling, solid waste collection and litter control. Interior design is a multifaceted profession in which creative and technical solutions are applied within a structure to achieve a built interior environment. Building walls takes precision and craftsmanship. Interior wall construction is very different from exterior wall construction. Stormwater service manages roof and surface water that comes from rainfall, snow melt or garden host.